The moment you chose wealth in your mind, the moment you decided that millions belong to you, something profound happened in the unseen. You signed the check, not with a pen, but with your energy. The signature wasn't on paper, it was on the fabric of reality. The energy you carry is not a silent force, it is the ink that the universe reads. When your inner state says, I am wealthy now, every element of life begins to conspire to make that truth visible. The bank account, the opportunities, the people, the doors you never knew existed, they all answer to that vibration. You do not need to hustle for the millions as if they are far away. They are already in your atmosphere. The check is signed. The funds are in motion. Your job now is not to chase, but to receive. Stand in the vibration of wealth. Breathe it. Walk as it. Think from it. Speak as though the transaction is complete. Because it is. Every thought of lack, every moment of doubt is like scribbling over your own signature. But every moment of certainty, every vision of abundance, every calm knowing is like re-signing that check with bold, unshakable ink. Your energy is the legal tender of the unseen. The world you see now is just a delayed reflection of the world you've already created within. And because you have already felt the millions as yours, they cannot help but find their way to you. Do not ask how they will arrive. The route is none of your concern. Do not track the delivery. It is already guaranteed. Stand still in the knowing. The wealth is already signed over to you. The transaction is closed. The millions are not coming someday. They are in motion now. And when they arrive, it will not feel like a surprise. It will feel like recognition. Because deep inside you will remember you signed the check long ago with your energy. Everything in your life begins first in the invisible realm of energy, before a single dollar appears in your bank account, before a business opportunity knocks, before an unexpected check arrives in the mail. There is an unseen signing ceremony taking place. You do not sign this check with ink. You sign it with the vibration you hold. The universe does not respond to words alone, nor to effort alone. It responds to the frequency you radiate from within. The truth is simple, yet often overlooked. You cannot manifest wealth from a vibration of lack, just as you cannot tune into a radio station you have not dialed in. What you radiate inwardly, your dominant feeling, your steady inner tone, becomes the signal that wealth recognizes. Like a lighthouse calling ships home, your energy sends out a clear message. Here is where abundance belongs. When you align your energy to the vibration of wealth, you have already completed the most important step in the process. You have signed the check energetically before a single figure appears on the page. The physical world is only the courier. It delivers what has already been approved in the unseen. This is why some people seem to magnetize opportunities effortlessly, because long before the opportunity came, their energy had already placed the order and secured the delivery. If you can feel the security of having the money before it arrives, you bypass the struggle most people experience. You don't live in the question of if it will happen, you rest in the certainty that it already has. This certainty is not wishful thinking. It is energetic reality. The moment you truly feel something is yours, the invisible wheels begin turning. Circumstances rearrange, people are moved into place, and channels of delivery open that you could never have logically designed. But here lies the challenge. Most people wait to feel wealthy until after the money shows up. This is like a gardener waiting for plants to grow before planting the seeds. Energy precedes manifestation, always. You must feel first, then see. You must embody the outcome before the evidence can reflect it back to you. This is not positive thinking. It is the law of resonance. Your energy is not a passive state. It is an active signature. that writes itself across the field of potential. And the field always returns what is signed upon it. If you feel lack, you are energetically signing a check for more lack. If you feel overflow, you are signing a check for more abundance. There is no delay in this energetic transaction. The only delay is in the physical unfolding, which is simply the time required for reality to catch up with your vibration. So how do you sign this check in the way that brings wealth to your door? You begin now, not after you have proof, not after circumstances improve. You begin now by holding the feeling of the desired outcome as though it were already here. You move through your day with the composure of one who has already received. You speak as though the deal is done, because in truth it is. When doubt tries to creep in, you don't fight it. You simply return to the feeling. You remind yourself, I am not waiting for wealth. I am allowing wealth to catch up to the energy I already hold. The check is signed. The energy is sealed. The only thing left is for the delivery to arrive. And when it does, you will not be surprised. You will simply nod in quiet recognition, knowing it could not have been otherwise. Before a check is honored in the physical world, it must first carry the correct signature. In the realm of manifestation, this signature is not written with your hand. It is impressed with your feeling. The universe, like a banker, will not release the funds until the signature matches the account, and your account is your inner state. The feeling of already having the millions is your invisible signature on the check. It is the authentic proof of ownership that reality requires before it can deliver. This is why so many efforts fail. Not because the dream was too big, not because the timing was wrong, but because the signature was missing or forged. Wishing, hoping, and wanting are counterfeits. They mimic the intention but lack the genuine authority of having. When you hold the feeling of wealth with the same natural certainty as you hold the memory of your own name, the signature becomes undeniable. It is not something you must force or repeat endlessly. It is an impression so deep that you live as though the millions are already in your possession. This is not pretense. It is alignment. In this state, you no longer plead with the universe. You no longer measure time by when it will happen. You walk through life as one who has already received. Your choices reflect it. Your posture reflects it. Even your smallest thoughts carry the fragrance of wealth. And the world, being a mirror, begins to return that image to you in unmistakable ways. Think of it like a contract. The signature is the final confirmation that activates the agreement. Without it, nothing moves forward, but the moment it is applied, the wheels turn automatically. The bank does not need you to chase it, call it, or demand it. It processes the check simply because the authority has been confirmed. The universe is no different. The moment you feel the outcome as real, as now, the process is already set in motion. This feeling is not about excitement or bursts of emotion. It is about the quiet, unshakable knowing that comes when something is yours. It is the same way you know the ground will hold you when you step onto it, or that the sun will rise tomorrow. It's not something you question, it's a given. That's the level of certainty your inner signature must carry. And here's the beauty. Once the signature is in place, nothing can revoke it except you. No delay, no apparent setback, no temporary lack has the power to erase it, unless you choose to overwrite it with doubt. If you do not cancel it, it remains valid, and the delivery remains inevitable. When people talk about acting as if, they often misunderstand. They think it means pretending or playing a role. But the true meaning is to occupy the feeling so fully that it ceases to be an act. It becomes your natural state. That is the real inner signature. So, as you go about your day, stop measuring your progress by what you see. Ask yourself instead, is my signature still on the check? Am I still carrying the feeling of already having it? Am I still walking as the one who has received? If the answer is yes, then it is done, regardless of appearances. The universe does not have the option to deny a signature that matches the account. It does not negotiate with doubt, nor does it reward desperation. It only fulfills what has been authentically claimed. Once your inner signature is fixed, the transaction is closed. The millions are not in question, they are in transit. And when they arrive, it will feel less like a surprise and more like a delivery you've been expecting. Because the truth is, you signed for it long ago. Reality is not the cause of your inner state, it is the reflection of it. Outer events are nothing more than a mirror, faithfully reproducing the vibration you carry within. When your inner frequency is tuned to wealth, the external world has no choice but to rearrange itself to match. This is not philosophy, it is law. There are no exceptions. Imagine a radio. It does not pull in every station at once. It tunes to a single frequency and receives only what matches. Your life operates the same way. Whatever you hold as your dominant vibration is the station you are tuned into. You cannot broadcast lack internally and expect to receive the music of abundance. The outer world cannot override your chosen frequency. It can only echo it. This is why the rich seem to grow richer and the poor remain trapped in cycles of struggle. It is not fate, nor is it luck. It is frequency. The moment you shift the inner dial from scarcity to wealth, the world begins to bring into your experience the people, opportunities, and circumstances that match that signal. Here's the subtle truth most miss. The shift is not something you do to the outer world, it is something you do within yourself. Too often, people attempt to rearrange the outside, changing jobs, chasing opportunities, or pushing harder, while keeping the same inner frequency of lack. And when nothing changes, they call it unfair. But reality is fairer than you think. It simply delivers whatever is being broadcast. When you truly hold the vibration of wealth, events will begin to align in ways you cannot predict. People you've never met will cross your path. Ideas will surface at the exact right moment. Doors that were once closed will swing open without effort. These things are not coincidence. They are the natural consequence of a frequency shift. It is not your job to figure out how the rearrangement will happen. The moment you try to control the sequence, you introduce resistance. Your only task is to maintain the inner state as though the reality you desire has already been established. The outer world is merely catching up to the signal you are sending. This is why maintaining your vibration matters more than any physical action. Action without alignment leads to struggle. But action from a place of alignment flows naturally. It feels inevitable rather than forced. You find yourself in the right place at the right time, saying the right words, making the right moves, all without overthinking. This is not magic. It is resonance. Think of it like a chessboard where every piece moves to serve your inner state. The moment you shift your vibration, the board is rearranged. Sometimes this means removing pieces that no longer fit your frequency. Relationships, jobs, habits may naturally fall away. Do not resist this. It is simply the universe clearing the path for the reality that matches your new station. And here's the most important part. Reality does not check your bank account to decide what to give you. It checks your frequency. You could have $0 in your account and still be tuned to the vibration of wealth, and wealth will find its way to you. Likewise, you could have millions and still carry the vibration of scarcity, and you will watch those millions slip away. Outer events are not leaders, they are followers. They do not instruct your vibration, they obey it. Change the leader, and the followers will reorganize accordingly. So hold your frequency steady, even when nothing appears to be happening. The rearrangement is underway. The new sequence of events is aligning piece by piece. And when it all comes together, it will not feel like a miracle. It will feel like the only possible outcome. Most people wait for the physical evidence before they allow themselves to feel the reality of their desire. They say, I'll relax when the money comes. I'll believe it when I see it. But this is the very posture that keeps the millions at a distance. The secret is reversed. You must live, think, and breathe as if the millions are already in your possession. Because energetically, they are. Receiving before arrival is not about pretending. It is about understanding that the unseen reality precedes the visible one. The money exists in potential now. The check has already been signed in the unseen. The transaction is already in motion. The only missing step is for you to step into the reality of already having it, long before it is placed in your hands. Think about how you behave when something is truly yours. If you've bought a piece of furniture that's being delivered next week, you don't spend the next 7 days worrying whether it will arrive. You make space for it in your home. You prepare the area. You may even tell people about it, not in hope, but in certainty. You've already paid for it, it's yours. The same applies to your millions. The payment is your energy, and once it's given, you can rest. When you live as though the millions are already here, your choices change naturally. You don't postpone joy, rest, or generosity until some future date. You embody them now. You don't grasp at opportunities out of fear. You select them from a place of calm discernment. You speak about your future as though it is a continuation of your present wealth, because in truth it is. The mind may try to protest. It will say, but I don't see it yet. How can I act like it's here? That is when you remind yourself that outer appearances are delayed reflections. The mirror always takes a moment to show the new pose. If you wait to see the reflection before you change your stance, you will be locked in the same reality forever. Receiving before arrival requires trust. Trust in the process, trust in the laws that govern creation, and trust in your own power to claim and hold the state you desire. You must become emotionally fluent in the experience of already having it. Walk into a room and imagine the weight of that financial freedom in your being. Make decisions as someone who already holds the millions. Breathe with the ease of one who is financially untouchable. This is not about reckless spending or careless living. It's about mental and emotional posture. If the millions were truly in your account today, what worries would dissolve? What doubts would fade? What sense of limitation would vanish? Start living from that release right now. That is how you receive before arrival. And here's the beauty. When you consistently live this way, the arrival becomes inevitable. You are no longer signaling to life that you are waiting. You are signaling that you have already received. The universe does not argue with that vibration, it aligns with it. The longer you hold the state of having, the more solid it becomes. At first, it may feel like an act. Then it becomes a habit. Finally, it turns into your truth. And when something becomes your truth internally, the outer world bends itself to deliver the matching evidence. The arrival of your millions will not come as a shock. You will not gasp in disbelief. Instead, you will simply nod as if greeting an old friend, because deep inside you will know you received it long before you ever saw it. There is a fundamental difference between chasing and attracting. Chasing is born from the belief that the thing you want is outside of you, distant, and must be caught. Attraction is born from the knowing that the thing you want is already aligned with you and is simply making its way into view. This is the essence of the magnetic law. Your energy does not chase. It pulls the wealth in by the certainty of your inner knowing. When you chase, you broadcast lack. Your every action says, I do not have it yet. That vibration pushes the millions further away. because life reflects your belief. The magnetic law works in the opposite direction. When you embody the frequency of already having, you stop moving toward the wealth, and the wealth begins moving toward you. A magnet does not run around seeking metal. It stays still, confident in its power, and allows the metal to come to it. In the same way, your inner certainty is the invisible force that draws wealth without strain. You are not waiting for the right opportunity. You are magnetizing it. You are not hoping for the right contact. You are pulling them into your path. The strength of your magnetic field is determined by the depth of your knowing. Doubt weakens the pull. Certainty strengthens it. This is why fleeting bursts of positive thinking are not enough. They are like switching the magnet on and off. The field must remain steady. You cannot hold the vibration of wealth in the morning and sink into worry by nightfall without scattering the signal. The magnet law responds to constancy. The universe is not persuaded by desperation. It is moved by conviction. Conviction does not require effort. It simply is. It is the quiet, unshakable awareness that says, "This is mine. This is inevitable." From that place, you no longer scramble for proof because the pull is already in motion. You trust that what is yours cannot pass you by. Living under the magnetic law feels effortless because there is no sense of pursuit. You are not running toward your desire, you are living from it. You hold conversations as someone who is already wealthy. You make decisions as someone whose finances are secure. You walk with the ease of one whose wealth is guaranteed. And just like a magnet silently at work, you draw circumstances into alignment without visible effort. Opportunities may seem to appear out of nowhere, but in truth, they are simply responding to the field you have established. You may receive offers you did not seek, introductions you did not request, and pathways you did not imagine. This is the magnetic pull in action, the rearrangement of the world to deliver what you have already claimed inwardly. And here's the key. The magnetic law works without you forcing it. You do not have to micromanage the delivery. You do not have to track the progress. The moment you try to control every step, you step back into chasing and the field weakens. Instead, you maintain the inner state, knowing that the wealth is already on its way, drawn by your certainty. Think of the most natural things in your life: your breath, your heartbeat, the sunrise. You do not chase them. They arrive as part of your reality. Wealth can be the same when you live from the vibration of the magnetic law. And when it arrives, it will not feel like luck. It will feel like gravity, inevitable, constant, and completely natural. Because your energy did not chase, it pulled. And what you pull through the certainty of your inner knowing cannot be denied. When your inner state is fixed in the vibration of wealth, something remarkable happens. The money begins to find you in the most direct and surprising ways. You are no longer pushing against life, scrambling for opportunities, or exhausting yourself in endless pursuit. The wealth takes the shortest route to you, not through your effort, but through your alignment. Effortless arrival does not mean the absence of action, it means the absence of strain. The actions you take under this state are inspired, timely, and smooth. They do not feel like a desperate climb, they feel like a glide. You are moved into position without resistance, the way a river carries a boat downstream without the boat needing to paddle frantically. And this happens because your inner state has already decided the outcome. Once the state is set, reality has no choice but to comply. Outer conditions will bend themselves into the shape of your inner conviction. The meetings, ideas, and events that bring the millions into view will come as if choreographed. You could not have planned them in such perfect sequence, yet they unfold without flaw. In this state, delays no longer intimidate you. You understand that what appears to be time passing is simply the unfolding of the shortest possible route for delivery. Sometimes that route may bypass what your mind thought was necessary. Opportunities may appear in unexpected industries, through people you've never met, or from channels you didn't know existed. The delivery is not always logical, it is efficient. Effortless arrival is the direct opposite of hustle culture. Hustle comes from the belief that without constant effort you will miss your chance. Effortless arrival comes from knowing you cannot miss what is already yours. You do not compete for it, you allow it. You do not chase it, you receive it. The belief in its inevitability creates a pathway so smooth that the manifestation feels like it just happened. Think of a train on a track. Once the destination is set, the train does not wander, second guess, or stop to ask for directions. It follows the most direct route to where it's going. Your inner state is the track, and the millions are already on board. The more you hold the state steady, the more direct the journey becomes. If you change your inner state mid-route through doubt or fear, you switch tracks, sending the delivery elsewhere. But when you remain fixed, the wealth arrives as planned. The beauty of effortless arrival is that it dissolves the need to make things happen. You realize you are not the sole builder of your success. You are the receiver of what your inner state has already constructed. Your task is simply to keep your vibration aligned until the visible catches up with the invisible. And when the wealth comes, it does not feel like a rescue. It does not feel like a stroke of random luck. It feels natural, as though it was always on its way. Because it was. The circumstances may surprise your mind, but they will not surprise your deeper knowing. You will recognize them instantly, not as strangers, but as the physical form of what you have been living in your imagination. The arrival of your millions will not be marked by exhaustion, as if you've just crossed a grueling finish line. It will be marked by ease, like watching a long-awaited ship glide into harbor. You will stand on the shore, calm and certain, because you knew this day would come. Effortless arrival is not a dream. It is the natural result of a set inner state. Once the vibration is fixed, the delivery is inevitable. And when it happens, you will see the truth. The money didn't come because you chased it. It came because it was always looking for you. And you finally stood still long enough for it to find you. You have seen it now. Wealth does not begin in your bank account. It begins in your energy. The check is signed in the unseen long before it is deposited in the seen. Your inner signature authorizes the transaction. Your frequency commands the outer world to rearrange. And your willingness to receive before arrival sets the stage for the delivery. You no longer need to chase. The magnetic law is already working in your favor, pulling the millions toward you with unshakable precision. And when you hold your state steady, the arrival will be effortless, the path clear, and the timing perfect. All you need to do is to breathe. The truth is this: you are not waiting for the millions. They are waiting for you to hold the vibration that allows them to arrive. When you understand this, life changes forever. You move from striving to allowing, from hoping to knowing, from chasing to receiving. And when the day comes, and it will, you will not be surprised. You will simply smile in quiet recognition, because deep down you will remember, I signed for this long ago with my energy. Thank you for listening. Thank you for holding the vision. And thank you for stepping into the wealth that has always been yours.